Good morning, I'm Andy Davis and I'm the owner and managing director of Trident Manor, which is a security risk and crisis management consultancy. We're based in the UK but we operate globally. Today I'd like to talk about the attack cycle. So the attack cycle, there are a number of different methodologies that are identified. One that I've used for many years is the 5-stage attack cycle. And in this there's clearly defined processes, or it's clearly defined stages that an attack will go through from the initial stage all the way through to finalization. The 5 stages, the first stage of this is the target selection. Second stage is the planning phase. Third stage is the attack phase. Fourth is escape. And fifth is exploitation. Now, what I'd like to do is talk a bit about each of these stages. So the target selection stage is where, whether it be criminal, terrorist, and that could be an organized crime group, it could be an opportunistic criminal, it could be a planned terrorist attack. So the target selection, the reason people will target an object, an organization, there are multiple reasons behind it. But the target selection has to be, one, that it's going to be of benefit to the organized or to the attacker's aims. Now, whether that's monetarily, whether that's politically, whether that's for exploitation, which we'll come on to, exploitation through media, etc. So they select a target. It could be for revenge. There's a whole host of reasons why targets are selected. But the target's selected, and then the next stage is the planning stage. So once they've identified the target, they then move on to planning how they are actually going to conduct the attack. And this will look at logistics, it will look at routes to the target, movements of the target, vulnerabilities of the target, whatever actions the target will takes that makes the life of the attacker easier or the chance of success more likely. During the planning stage, there nearly always is elements of surveillance. Now, surveillance nowadays includes electronic surveillance. Historically, it would include human surveillance, technical surveillance, which includes videos, which includes, in some cases, wiretaps, etc., etc. But the planning stage is where building together the picture so that the attacker knows and understands how successful or the likelihood of their success is going to be. Now, even though it's a planning stage, when it's an opportunistic attack, so for example, I see an old lady walking down the street, I see her bag protruding, I think there's money in her bag, so I've selected my target. Okay, my planning is, okay, she's making my life easy because I can see a purse, I can run up to her, grab the purse, make off, and my attack has been successful. So all of this planning, that planning can be, very dynamic. It can take a matter of minutes. In some cases, terrorists plan for months, years, revisiting 2 or 3 times, reevaluating their attack plans and taking it forward. So the next stage is the attack phase. Generally speaking, whether it be criminal, terrorist related, the attack happens very quickly because they want to, in most cases, certainly on the criminal side, they want to actually get what they need to get and then move on to the next stages. There has been a change in the attack where it relates to terrorism. And in this, what we've seen is that rolling terrorist attacks take place over a number of a period of time, take place over multiple locations, and all of this increases the media benefits, which is part of the reason for the attack in the first place. But when we're looking at violence, attacks are normally very quick, very fast, and they can be over very quickly or they can be prolonged. So generally speaking, an attack is something that is very quick, very fast, so that the criminal or the terrorist will be able to achieve their goal and escape with whatever their reason for attacking was in the first instance. Escape is an important part for criminals in the sense that their escape is part of planning phase, and they want to plan their routes. So what are their escape routes? How are they going to escape from the area to a place of safety? One of the things that has changed, certainly with regards to terrorism, is that martyrdom is seen as a form of exploitation, and martyrdom is a goal following on from the initial attack. So actually escape, in some senses now, and in some circumstances, isn't a factor because their intention is to fight till they die at the scene, and the longer they can make the attack last, the more publicity they're going to achieve, and if they achieve greater publicity, it's going to be more helpful for them or for their cause and for the media usage of their cause. The final stage of the attack cycle is normally the exploitation. If we take the scenario that I gave of the criminal grabbing the purse and making off, their exploitation is taking the cash out, using that to buy drugs. If it's the theft of art, it's taking the art and then selling it on to third parties. If it's terrorism, media is one of their main ways of exploiting the attack. Generally speaking, nearly all attacks will adopt this same approach, and you can fit the scenario into these 5 stages. Now, some organisations identify 6 stages, and surveillance being identified as one. Others, like myself, view surveillance as being something that is continuous from the target selection right the way through to the attack phases. Okay. Hopefully that's given you a brief idea, a brief understanding of the attack cycle and how it can be used. For further information, please feel free to get in touch with myself or any of our colleagues at Trident Manor, and we're more than happy to identify ways in which we can help you understand about the attack cycle, but also the programs and the formal training that we deliver in relation to this. Thank you.